What is the definition of a pioneer?
Ordinary people who see something that others haven't, who defy the consensus and are comfortable taking a step forward in an unclear direction in pursuit of something that they believe in.
Molweni nonke, namkelekile. Igama lam ngu-Caley. I go across Africa seeking out pioneers in the tech, leadership and creativity arena in order to delve into their minds and better understand their stories. I want to know what it takes to truly make it on this continent. Okay, so today we're going to be talking to Katlego Maphai. He is the CEO of a company called Yoco. Now, Yoko began by offering the market card readers with a backend POS system, but that is not where Yoko's vision ends. Yoko plans to become an open commerce solution with zero exclusivity to both South African, African, and small businesses across the globe. Katlego Maphai is an African pioneer. What's been your greatest joy in being an entrepreneur?
It's actually been connecting with other entrepreneurs and at lots of different levels, right? So our customers are all entrepreneurs, so we're all the same. We have the same conversations, we have the same struggles. And I think that's what really keeps our business super grounded, right? Is that like we're the same people, right? So that's one. Two is connecting with other entrepreneurs in this ecosystem and other ecosystems from a learning perspective. Even like a couple of our customers have actually gone on to mentor me, right? Like people who've built up incredible businesses who needed payments, but are a little bit further down the line. These folks, spending time with them, learning, especially in our early days, was incredibly invaluable. So it's actually the community of entrepreneurship that this business has allowed us to plug into, and that's just growing, right? It's actually boundless. It's also given me an opportunity to see South Africa in a very different light. So, economy is not doing so well, things are flat, but when you look at these businesses, we surveyed them in our pulse, they all expect to grow in the next 12 months. They all expect to be profitable in the next 12 months. They all expect to employ in the next 12 months. So it's just very different stories, right? And it's, we all need that, right? We need some hope, we need to know this direction, and there's a part of this country that's actually got it, and we just need to tap into it.
I learned from Katlego that the reason the SME sector has to date been underserviced is actually due to a distribution issue. So what Katlego and his team are building is an ecosystem that they and their partners can plug into to successfully serve the sector. They're calling it an open commerce solution with zero exclusivity. I really needed to find out more.
So when Yoko started out in 2015,
Yes.
What was your stated mission and vision?
Yeah, so it's interesting. When we started off back in the day, ultimately we wanted to empower entrepreneurial businesses to grow. This is really what we're trying to do, and we wanted to create as much access as possible. We've recently broadened this a little bit and refined what we're trying to do. So from a vision perspective, we're trying to build what we're calling an open commerce ecosystem, right? So that's the vision, open commerce. Whoever wants to participate is invited, right? No exclusivity, just open. We think this has the capacity to bring people together and to really catalyze. From a purpose perspective, it's very simple for us. We exist to enable people to thrive, right? This is our customers, the team, our community. This is why our company exists. And it's really with this energy that we want to take the company forward.
You've got two products, right? So you've got the Yoko device with its POS system, and then you've got recently launched Yoko Capital.
The simple thing here is that we see the impact this machine has on these businesses. Not only are they accepting a payment, but they're also digitizing, starting to keep digital records, starting to create a footprint, right? And the moment you have a footprint as a consumer or a customer, you become valuable. And that's why we really want to invest in really getting as many businesses onto the platform and starting to build this network that starts to reinforce itself.
I mean, it was a great entry-level product to go into accepting payments, right?
Exactly.
So it's an amazing way to build the database to which you can then provide other services.
I spoke earlier about the distribution problem, the distribution into smaller businesses. Now, we're cracking the distribution equation, but interestingly, as we crack the distribution equation and we start to develop this network, we're actually building a new distribution network, right? That didn't exist before. And all of a sudden, there's now a mechanism to deliver products into small businesses that didn't exist. And it's fantastic. We see it as a win-win-win for everyone. For the small business, they're getting access to services that they otherwise couldn't get to before. For the larger institution, they now have distribution into these smaller businesses. And from our perspective, we get to monetize this distribution network that's been really hard to build.
Have you developed a product yet in partnership with another?
Yeah, sure. So for instance, our capital product, we're in partnership, we're not lending off our balance sheet. From a product perspective, we partner with Icon2, which provides a hospitality-based point-of-sale solution for restaurants. There's also Vend from New Zealand, which provides a retail point-of-sale solution, which is quite sophisticated for independent retailers. There's Zero, which is the accounting platform, which is also connected into us. So as the merchants are transacting, instead of collecting receipts and putting it into the accounting platform, they're automatically getting posted. So the ecosystem is starting to happen, and it's fantastic. As our network grows, we're getting more and more players, large players, approaching us to figure out how can we partner with you guys to provide services to small businesses.
So when I was researching Yoko Capital, which is Yoko's newest product offering, I was truly taken aback by the payment mechanism Katlego and his team are offering. If you're an SME looking for capital, then do check it out. It's one of the most innovative ways of paying back debt that I've ever come across.
Tell me about Yoco Capital.
Yeah.
It's an amazing offering. I want to know how a merchant can sign up, and what the fees are, and how they actually manage to pay back.
So it's a product we're really excited about. We've taken, the right amount of time to develop it. That's, our thesis, right? Like, new is easy, right is hard. And, we spent a lot of time developing this product. In the end, there's a big funding gap for small businesses, right? Access to finance is arguably the biggest challenge that these folks face. Now, the way the product works, it's really, really simple. Merchant comes onto our platform. They need at least 3 months of trading history. And then after that, they can log into the Yoko business portal, which is basically their business intelligence portal. And through that, on the tab, they can see the Yoko Capital sign, go there, and they'll see an offer to access capital. And this offer is ultimately designed on their turnover, right? So how much they're making. And they can accept the offer with a few clicks of a button. And what's also nice is that there's no interest rates or anything like that. There's just a fee, it's set up front. There's also no term on the loan, so they can take as long as they need to pay it back. And they accept the offer, and literally from that point, within 24 hours, the deposit is made into their bank account. Now, the beautiful bit is how they service the offer. Basically, they don't have to do anything. They just need to keep accepting the payments. And because the fees set up front and there's no term, if the business is doing really well, they just pay it back super quickly, right? If they're going through a bit of a slump, they can take longer to pay it back. There's no penalties, there's none of this stuff. So it's a very clean product. Actually, one of the favorite things I remember from our beta program was one of the merchants saying, we just told her that she'd paid back her loan. She's like, I didn't even notice that, right? Which was really exciting.
Yeah. I'm interested in this research report that you as a company have recently done. Does it have a title?
Yeah, we're calling it the Small Business Pulse.
Great.
And the idea is to release it quarterly. But the genesis here, and this is something we've spoken about for many years, is when we get to a certain size, and we have the data and we have this base, we can now start giving very tangible feedback to the market on what's happening with small businesses, and also just be in a position where we can challenge a lot of the stereotypes around them. Doing business is not easy.
Yeah, sure. And going forward, having conducted this report, I know you guys are now addressing the lack of access to capital
Correct.
through Yoko Capital.
Exactly.
Are there any other areas that you're particularly focused on in terms of new product development?
Yeah, so I think an important area for us to get into going forward is how do we help our merchants get new customers, right? So that's why business exists, yeah? You wanna get new customers, you wanna grow. And so that's something, down the line, we see that as really the holy grail. We're having like very deep impact on these businesses. But, looking inside the business, beyond sort of getting access to capital to help them grow, the technology, the systems, the software we're trying to build, the automation we want to bring in is really to give these business owners time, right? Our sense is that we don't want business owners spending time on repetitive manual tasks that are repeatable across businesses. The more we can allow systems to take care of this, all the better. And yeah, the technology is just becoming more and more powerful. So we want to like really democratize access to automation to these businesses. So just what we call the acceptance gap, right? That you have many cards in South Africa at all levels of the economy, but not enough places to use them. The equation just made sense. And we looked at it from a bunch of different angles. We went super deep. And in the end, our most important insight at the beginning, before we started anything, was realizing that we needed to have a direct relationship with our customers, right? There couldn't be an institution in between. Otherwise, it would slow us down and it wouldn't ultimately solve the problem.